Um, Welcome to FemCode Africa Spotlight Saturday on Women in Tech, and we are so pleased to have you today, Adora. We are so happy to have you on board. Thank you for actually granting our request. So I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is John Shulamite, and I'm the founder and um, okay, let's just say I'm the founder of FemCode Africa, and FemCode Africa is a visual hub that they're on a mission to train ladies in technology. So any technical skills that ladies are interested in learning, they reach out to us, then we help them by offering them assistance to get to train them. So that's what we do basically. So we have other sections. We have our boot camp, we have our Fem Hub, we have Fem Lancer, and so on and so forth, which we make available for ladies to be able to join in the tech ecosystem. So we are so happy to have you on board. Um, I really want to start by asking you to please introduce yourself extensively. So we just need your name and a little about. So we need your full bio this time around. Sorry, please hold on. Okay.
Okay, yes. I was muted and I wasn't able to mute myself. Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody here. My full bio, I don't even know what a full bio is or what a full bio is.
On your website, you have three sections, right? So within the full section of your bio.
I don't even remember what I wrote there, to be honest, but I would try. And if it's not enough, then you can complain and I'll try harder.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, my name is, well, the name I like to call myself is Adora. And I'm guessing that a lot of people know where I work, so I'm not even going to say that I work there. But I'm a lover of food, I'm a lover of technology, and I'm a very huge fan of music. I think me being a lover of food and music parts also kind of shows once in a while on my Twitter when I post food, or when I talk about food, or when I talk about how I miss shawarma because of coronavirus and I and once in a while, when I talk about music or when I post my mixes, because I DJ as well, or all of
Wow.
that.
Yeah, like your tweet the other day, you talked about
Like
coding and
about
dance,
music.
and you get to forget the line of
Oh
your
yeah,
song.
because
I saw that.
yeah. So I was listening to. I don't remember the song, and I know that immediately that song came up,
Okay.
I literally did not touch my keyboard until that song was over. I kept on dancing from like the beginning to the song, beginning of the song to the end. And I'm just like, this actually happens to me a lot. And I just thought that I would like want to find out if it happens to anybody else. But yeah, I'm a lover of food, I'm a lover of music, I'm a lover of people, and I'm a fan of giving back. Is why you see me do all these things that I do because I feel like last I can't I can't give people money because I don't have so much money to give.
Yeah.
So I can't come and be sharing dollars like, oh yes, I'm going to give you $10,000. Go and let's code. I can't do that because if I do that to God knows how many people, my bank account will start crying.
Yeah, sure.
But however, I know that I can share stories, I can share motivation, I can be a source of inspiration so that people can like draw that energy and take that energy and also use it to do great things. And that's why I do all the things that I do. um I don't want to say me as a human being, as an entity standing in front of you or sitting in front of you, I am a not for profit because all the things that I do, I don't do it to make money out of it. I just do it because I want to give back. But I don't think human beings can be not for profit. So I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But yeah, I'm a lover of food, music, technology, and people. And I think that this thing that I've said, I hope is enough for you because you will find this on my website. I
Okay.
just I just gave you exclusive gist.
Yeah,
So
you did.
I hope that this is enough for you. I'm not going to start saying, oh, in 2020 I created a blog. See, that one is on my website. If you want to know about that, go and read it there. Right? But like
Yeah.
I hope I've shared like a part of me that
Yes,
you've not
so
read or
yes,
seen
so
anywhere. Okay.
okay, thank you very much for that extensive gist, like you said. So thank you very much for telling us things that are not in your bio. So someone asked me, do you know Adora? I'll be like, yeah, I know her. She loves music, she likes food too, and so on and so forth. Thanks for that. Okay, so before I start asking you other questions, I just want to kind of throw more light on something. You know, I mentioned earlier about FemBoot, right? So FemCode, through FemBoot, that's the way they actually reach more ladies, training them. Like from the firm boots, they have one-on-one mentorship programs. So we provide them, kind of group them and provide them with instructors and mentors that take them through their journey in technology. So, and we do that. Last year we had Fem Boots 1.0, and that was our first Fem Boots, and we trained over 500 ladies in the firm booth. That's apart from our mentorship program and our internship program. Just the firm booth alone, we trained over 500 ladies. And this year, we are starting up with 2.0. I don't know, I tagged you to a tweet last 2 weeks and last week. So for you to help us out to tweet, and I was so glad that you loved or you liked the post. So I just want to tell you that we are going into the 2.0, and we are please pleading with you that you help us and try to make publicity. So you are a kind of an individual that people trust so much. So people look up to you in a lot of things, especially when it comes to tech. So we wanted to help us out. We are pleading. You help us out. Maybe sponsor someone. You never can. You can just sponsor someone, or you help us out. Make a tweet about it on your DM, and people will get like, ah, this one Adora is making. That means it. So that's why we actually. I want to take my time to kind of explain to you what is all about. Okay. So let's try to get into what we have for today. So, how have your journey been in tech? How long have you been in tech? How did you get started? We just want you to share with us.
I think at some point you're going to give me power to be able to mute myself. But how long have I been in tech? Like been in tech, like writing code. I
Yeah.
was really little.
When did you start? How did your journey in tech start?
I was really. My journey in tech started because of Apple. My journey in tech started because as a child, I was
Wow.
always asking questions, and I was a busybody. Like even up till now, I'm sure that you can tell that this one that hasn't changed about me. Very inquisitive, very enthusiastic when I don't know something, and if I ask you and you don't answer me, I'm going to keep pestering you until you do. That kind of person. So I remember I was, I think, 6 or 5. I don't remember how old I was though, but I remember that it was before 2007 for sure. So it was pretty young. Um, maybe I was 7. Man, I don't remember how old I was to be honest, but I know that maybe this was '05, '06, maybe even '04. No, it was before 2004.
This is
Yeah,
crazy. Are you serious?
I think it was like
That's
2002.
we had. Me.
2003. I think it was like 5 or 6 or 7 around that time. I don't remember exactly, but so I have like elder brothers. Both of them are like way older than me. Like I'm the last born, and the
Wow.
difference is very clear. So my last brother, like the one that is directly older than me, was I think just rounding up like his what was he just rounding up? I think he was just rounding up his GS3 or something. And my dad was like, "Oh, his children have to be," and I was like, "That was." I don't want to say that was the social media era, but that was the time that you had like High Five. That was the time that you had like MySpace. That was the time that you had like Yahoo Messenger and MSN and all
Mm-hmm.
these things. That time, I remember, and so my dad is like, he wants all his kids to be computer literate, right? So because of that, he started sending my brothers. The younger one was in JS3, so I mean the older one was a bit older. So he started sending them to computer school. And then he's like, sending you to computer school and then you coming back home and living your life is not enough. That I need to get you a computer in the house so that you can
Yeah. Get
continue
your hands dirty. Yeah.
your hands dirty. So he got one desktop computer at the time, like those ones now. I remember
Yeah.
how they were the fancy.
I can tell.
I was pregnant at the back. Then like I look like a very old
Yeah,
TV.
exactly.
Got that. And he also got an IBM laptop. I remember it was an IBM ThinkPad. And I used to like the laptop a lot because I just felt like the laptop was easier to carry as opposed to the monitor that was big.
Yeah.
So always be when because I mean now kids, everybody wants to be on the computer, so people are fighting for the computer. So when my brothers are using the computer and I really want to use the laptop and I'll be sad because I'm like really young and they're older than me, so they can just bounce me. So I'll go and take my dad's laptop and then I'll be using it. And then around that time, I got into, I don't know if you call those things social media or iMessaging. Yeah, there was the IM part, which was like the Yahoo Messenger and
Yeah.
MSN. But in MySpace and High Five, all those things were social media platforms. And I remember I had a High Five account, I had a MySpace account. Obviously, the only friends I had there were my brothers, but still, I just still had it. And I was interested in social media at the time. I was interested in gaming at the time. And then I started figuring out my way around like learning to type. So my brother taught me how to do this. You know that movie screenplay thing? Those animations at the beginning of a movie that show like the movie title.
Yeah,
People
exactly. Yeah, that
my
slide.
brother
Yes, you can do it PowerPoint. Yeah.
taught me how to do PowerPoint at the time. I will now do it if I show my mom, or I would like type one very long essay about myself. So getting fond of computers, one thing led to another. One day I slipped and fell and I fell on programming. So I found out about Visual Basic and like writing very basic Visual Basic code, obviously. Maybe something to quickly do my, like, you know, when you do math assignments in class, then you now use the code to actually check if all the answers of the assignments are correct.
Yeah.
I didn't also mention that I am a geek. I like books too much. And well, actually, I don't like books too much. I like math too much. Because if you give me something that requires me to read, that is not like a book, like a normal, like a novel, I'll be sad because I hate words. I hate to read.
Yeah.
But I like math. So I would finish doing my math assignment and I'll write code to like validate the thing that I did on the assignment, see if it's correct. And I'll go to school and go and get 10 10. And it was always like making my like I want to continue, doing that and then because I don't know if you can still see me. Can you still see me? My
Yeah.
internet just said
Yeah.
that.
Sure.
They paused for a bit. I was in a school where we were allowed to bring laptops. I thank God for that. So like apparently, because I think they used to call themselves the first learning school in Africa or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me. It helped my situation a lot more because I mean I was fond of my computer. I used to be the computer girl in my school. If they're having like maybe if they give us any computer assignment and nobody knows, they'll come and meet me. Or if they're having any issue,
Mm.
it was
You feel like
like
you're
things
a
are not even
power.
things are not even programming today, but just because it has to do with computer, it will
Mm-hmm.
bring it to me. And like that, I created that whole sort of brand for myself back in school. And then I figured out HTML and CSS. I figured out the web obviously. So I started writing HTML. CSS wasn't a thing the way it is today in that time. But I'm the kind of person that I will write HTML. I used to like that McQueen tag, that one that's sliding from my
Yeah.
side of the page like, and I'll write like, then I'll put like a red border around it,
Yeah.
like
Around
all
it.
that CSS. Like I used to do that a lot at the time. And then when I was going into like uni, I had a family friend that studied in MIT. And then he studied electrical engineering in his what's it called this thing? Bachelor's. And then he was doing his master's in MIT and then he was doing a master's in computer science. So I was asking him, this computer science that you're doing, like, is it worth it? Like, should I go through that route of doing computer science or I should just study the maths I love so much and then just learn to code? Because I actually wanted to just study mathematics and then learn to code on the side and then come out a programmer that solves math. I don't know. You know what? Nobody was giving me career advice, so I was actually thinking in a very weird way at the time. But I just wanted to do things that I love. And in that moment, those were the things that I loved that I could do, because I tried to do music and my father said not in his house. So yeah, in that moment, those are the things that I loved to do that I was going to be able to do because of like the family I'm from and everything. And then he advised me that, I mean, I have the chance to do the computer science now. I should just do it. And then I went ahead, got into school, did the computer science, finished
I
the
was
computer
actually
science.
well, that's
While I was still doing well for my first years in school. I was focused more on school than anything else. I was focused on school and on learning than anything else. And then towards my end, like towards the end of getting out of school, like the year before your final year and your final year, I was focused more on building my skills. Like I didn't want the one that I didn't like. We all know the typical Nigerian graduate story, and I'm the kind of person that I don't have to wait to make a mistake before I learn from it. I like to learn from other people's
Purpose
mistakes.
mistake. Yeah.
I don't like first in my life. Anybody that knows me knows that. And I've seen like the life of the typical Nigerian graduate. Like you come out of school, you don't have experience yet. A role that is fit for you, they'll tell you that somebody needs to have at least 2 years experience to take that role. And I'm like, okay, let me start getting the experience back in school.
No,
So
exactly.
when we did the normal IT, and then I was done with my internship as a software developer in a digital agency, I didn't leave. I told them that I beg go, I want to stay here. Like, so I'm going to be my final year. I'm going to keep working for you guys. But obviously, I'm going to be working remotely because now I cannot be going to the office every day because I'm at house. And I don't know whether it was because of how I worked with them for like the past 6 months, and maybe how I presented myself and the kind of work ethic that they saw. They didn't think it was a bad idea to let me be removed. They're like, okay, this girl actually says that she will do this thing. We trust her, she will do it because she delivered for her 6 months. So they put me, so I was still an intern. Like they didn't promote me or anything because I mean, I wasn't asking for that. Because if I was asking for a promotion, there would have been a chance that I wouldn't have gotten what I wanted at the time because I was still a student and really how much could I do? So I was pretty much an intern for 1 year, 6 months because I was an intern for my normal 6 months in uni, like the normal 6 months IT,
Yeah.
and then I was intern throughout my final year. But in my final year, I was more like a remote intern, if that makes sense. So when I came out, like after final year, like when I was done with school and I had graduated, so we had a conversation of, oh, do you want to come join us? And I'm like, well, yeah, for NYSC, sure. And then I joined them for NYSC. Obviously, they now upped my salary, so it made sense. And then I was with them for like my whole NYSC year, still as a software developer. And then after NYSC, I was thinking about going to go get a master's degree. And then Microsoft just said, about that, what if,
We
you
get to
just come and join us? And I'm like, well, that doesn't really seem like a bad idea right now. So sure. And then I have decided to put my master's on hold for a bit. And today I'm currently working as a mixed reality software engineer in Microsoft. Yeah, so that's the story.
Thank you
That's
very,
that's the,
very, very much. That was very extensive. Wow. So you actually started code at a very young age.
I started, we
That's
didn't call
nice.
that thing because it was just like random math algorithms, but
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least interacting with programming at a
Yeah, sure. Okay, so what are the key things that helped you in your journey in technology? What are the key things that helped you? Apart from you having a family where IT is already surrounded by like your left is IT, your right is IT. So what are the other things that helped you out in your tech journey?
um having career mentors and being able to listen to them. I mean, it's one thing to have a mentor, but if the person is mentoring you and you're not listening, then you're doing yourself. Having career mentors and listening to them. Also being inquisitive and always trying to question the norm. Like I am the kind of person that when you tell me do X, I'll ask you why. Some people find it disrespectful, but last, that's their business. You need to tell me why you want me to do something before I go ahead and do it. So like question everything.
Yes.
Always don't be afraid. I'm also the kind of person that I'm never afraid to learn in public. Like if I don't know, I don't know. And I'm not afraid to learn. Like being able to listen to mentors, being able to question everything and not being afraid to learn in public, I would say are the things that have kept me going over the years. I think. I might have missed out some things, I'm not sure, but if I remember, I'll let you know.
Okay, no problem. Have you faced inequality of any sort? Have you?
I've
Uh,
not faced
this guy
quality.
thing, like, I think it's the guy thing. So whenever you're in the environment, they kind of like try to suppress you, try to make you stay on side, that kind of a feeling. Have you?
You can't try to suppress the suppressor.
I trust that.
Let me put it
Yeah.
that way. I am never suppressed. If
Yeah.
anything, suppressed. Not directly though. I'm not one to actually, want to weigh you down. But for I want to try and be. I want to add this stereotype because people say it a lot, and I don't know whether it's true. But just to back up the statements I'm about to make, a lot of people say guys have ego, right? Guys have huge egos and stuff. For a woman, I think I have the fattest ego I have ever seen in my life. And that ego is backed with pride and some level of arrogance and all these type of things. But I don't know if that's called it pride and arrogance or self-esteem. I think I'll go with
With
self-esteem.
self-esteem,
Because
yes, I think I
I
go with
think when
that.
people say arrogance, they try to bring people down. I don't try to bring people down. But I
Okay.
have a level of self-esteem that your opinion is literally invalid to me. How I think about myself is how I feel about myself. I'm only asking for your opinion when maybe I'm not sure of something and I want to be sure. Like, you know how you dress up and you're like, does this hair look good? Should I change it to this hair or is this hair okay? All those kind of questions. But
Yeah.
you never come and meet me and be like, there's nothing in your head. Or like, it's not going to work. Like,
Exactly. I
so
can feel that.
and because of that, I'm the kind of person that when I walk, I feel like I'm the kind of person that when I walk into a room, my confidence shows much more than anything else. And a bunch of people have told me that I turn heads. I don't know about that, but that's a personal problem. But another thing is I've also in my life been surrounded around a bunch of guys. I've been friends with guys more, and because of that, I don't feel intimidated when I'm in a room with 15 guys and I'm the only girl now. It has never intimidated me before, like, oh, why are my fellow women not here? It doesn't intimidate me, but it actually makes me want to motivate more women. I don't know if that makes sense. And that's one of the reasons why I do all these things, right? But it has never been the case of, oh, there's so many guys here, or there's so many guys at work, and I'm just going to lay low. No, and that's the reason why I'm even going to shout so that you will hear my voice since I feel like I'm the smallest person in the room. Like
Thank you.
I
I'm
have,
serious. I do.
I've never faced any kind of, I mean, apart from the popular stereotype, like
Yes.
maybe if I was in a different country as a black woman, it would
Yes.
have been different. But being a Nigerian in Nigeria has never for 1 second for any single day, and maybe it's also maybe the kind of family that I grew up in, I don't know, but or maybe the kind of environment I have surrounded myself in. I've just not been in that unfortunate scenario, and God will not allow one person to be unfortunate to do that to me because I'll give it to you back. I don't know, but
Okay,
that's just how I
you're
feel.
a nice speaker. You're also a very funny one. I'm serious. I'll be laughing throughout this. Laughing throughout this section. That's very nice. I think I've learned something. Um, so we, as a lady, for you to succeed in export, and so very nice. So
So
that when things
you
come
have
up,
to be your biggest fan because nobody's going to see at the beginning of a business who are the people that push you and support you, yourself and your family.
exactly.
And your family will support you because you have gone to them in the first place. And for you to go to them, you have to believe in the thing that you're even about to do. So at the end of the day, before like other people will now start patronizing your business and whatever, now bringing it to like your normal job or your normal life or your career or whatever, you have to be your biggest fan first. You need to believe, you need to understand why you're doing something and believe in the thing before you go
Exactly.
ahead and do it. Because if you don't, it might never work for you.
Exactly. Wow. Thank you very much. So this is the end of the first section. So we've actually had enough from Adora. Yeah, she has actually boosted our morale from the confident way she's talking to us. So please, if you're here, go to our Facebook page or our Facebook group, and please go under the live section. We are live, and ask your questions. So the next section is going to be hers. She's going to take 20 minutes and talk about how to get job training. So if you think you have a question or anything she's out starting, please go down and ask your question. So I wish she's done. I can ask questions. Please, please ask questions here. Go to our Facebook group. That is FemCode community on Facebook. Activate your under alive. So I will ask you next. And I think everyone after 10 minutes break. Let's see the next section. Thank you. Yeah, see you after 10 minutes. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. Join with the other link and the passwords. Yeah.
Okay. Zoom window isn't blocking part of my screen. I'm going to be, talking about attracting recruiters on LinkedIn and how you can get the best possible jobs on LinkedIn. But initially, I would have said, let me introduce myself. I don't know why this is happening. I would have said, let me introduce myself, but I kind of already have, but let me just go ahead and do that again. My name is Adora. I am a software engineer at the mixed reality team at Microsoft. So my day-to-day involves, building mixed reality cloud services and high-value experiences that have to do with mixed reality and artificial intelligence. I'm a tech content creator, and I created an entity that I didn't want to be me, like a whole new brand that I didn't want to be me, where I use to share my tech content. So I do that in form of articles and YouTube channels. So it's Adora Hack. You can go check that out if you want. I'm a co-founder of On Stack Africa, which is a community where all our talks and all our events are centered around more workshops than actually talking, because we believe that a lot of people learn by doing. So why talk about the technology when you can actually make them use it if you want them to learn faster? I'm also on the advisory board of VRAR Nigeria, which is an association for enthusiasts in the extended reality space, extended reality being AR, VR, and XR. So I am on the advisory board for the Nigerian chapter, but it's a global association. And this is my Twitter handle, just in case you want to follow me sometime. And the first question I would want to ask is, why would anybody even want to try and use LinkedIn in the first place? I mean, there are job sites that you can go apply for jobs, right? There's Twitter where you can go make connections, right? But I'd say that LinkedIn has a really large community of professionals. And if you don't want to do too much, or rather you can do too much on LinkedIn by doing so little. And it's a place where without doing too much, you can actually get a lot, because it would help you develop your brand, strengthen your brand, because it already has that community of professionals and you are just tapping into that already existing, community. And this quote is here, you never know if you don't try it, because this was one of the things that my CEO at the time when I was working in advertising told me, that actually got me to think about using LinkedIn, because it's like, you never know if you don't try. Why are you not taking your LinkedIn seriously? And then I thought about the fact that I actually have everything to gain and absolutely nothing to lose. I mean, if I try and do the LinkedIn and it doesn't work, I will close it or it will stay there. But if I try and do the LinkedIn and it works, then it would be an amazing thing for me. So that was that. A few years ago, I had my LinkedIn account. I opened in 2015, actually, when I was still in school. But I wasn't pro LinkedIn. I opened it because a bunch of people were opening LinkedIn accounts, and I was just a student on LinkedIn, and then my profile picture was there and it just said students, and that was pretty much it. I wasn't actively, now I check LinkedIn at least once every day, but that wasn't the case before, because I could go 7 months without even, I think I even literally forgot what the app was or what the app was about. And I'm going to tell you a short story, of how I became pro LinkedIn. I remember in 2017 or 2018, I don't remember, when I got back to my when I was doing my NYSC at the time. Oh, I can actually admit people, so I'll just go ahead and do that. When I was doing my NYSC at the time, and I felt like I wanted to do more because I had already started interacting with like a few people from like maybe a few developers that were not my classmates, and I felt that wow, like everywhere I look, left, right, front, like there are boys everywhere. And even in my class, yeah, people that study computer science, I don't remember the exact number, but if there were like 50 people in the class, there were 40 boys and 10 girls. And that's like 20% of the amount of the women in that class were 20% of the entire population. And out of the 20%, only about, let's say, 40% actually cared enough about technology. Some people ended up in that computer science because they thought they would learn how to type and how to create presentations. I know girls in my class that thought computer science was about Microsoft Word, that's why they ended up in that class. So imagine what they're doing today. They're not practicing tech. Some of them have become, different things. Some of them have started building businesses. Some of them have, tilted towards their creative side. And I wanted to give people, I wanted to give back to people. I wanted to share, like I said before in the first part of this session, I wanted to motivate women, but I know that I don't have so much money. I can't come and be sharing $10,000 to everybody. But if I do that to like God knows how many people, I'll run down. So I wanted to be that source of inspiration. I wanted to be able to tell a story that would motivate people to actually want to do this tech thing. And when I told my CEO about it at the time, that I'm going to start sharing knowledge and I'm going to start actively trying to add value to like the tech community, because that wasn't something I was doing. I wasn't even part of the community. I was just one that was on my own because I had my job. My life was already set. Like I literally did not need to be there, or so I thought, right? And then I'm like, I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to engage a lot of people on, I'm going to engage a lot of people on social media. I'm going to try and maybe give courses when I can. I'm going to write articles when I can. I'm going to do all this bunch of things that involve like actually giving back to people, because I feel like I have been blessed and I want to share that with the world. And he said, in all these things that you are saying, I've not heard you say LinkedIn just once. And I'm like, because I don't understand. What am I using LinkedIn to do? Like, why? And then he tried to tell me why it's important for like someone, for a professional to, be on LinkedIn and take it seriously. Like he said, if you don't know, if you don't try it, you'll never know. And he also told me that, I mean, LinkedIn has like a lot of professionals and it might just be like a blessing for me. And then I started taking, alongside all the other things that I was doing, I started taking my LinkedIn seriously. And in that time, when I like, changed the way my account was looking, and I did things there, updated my, experience, updated all these things, and started actively engaging in conversations on LinkedIn. I know how many recruiters reached out to me in that time. Like, I'm talking big companies. Like, I've had Amazon reach out, I've had Microsoft reach out. I mean, I've had like Google reach out, I've had Andela reach out, I've had some other like Nigerian companies reach out, Jumia reach out, and like different companies reach out that, oh, I think, and this one. And I'm like, well, about that, well, I'm not really, available for a hire right now, but thanks for the opportunity. And that happens because I take my LinkedIn seriously. A lot of recruiters are on LinkedIn and not on Twitter. On Twitter, if people are getting jobs, it's via maybe the engineers that have seen other competent engineers in the TL. So that's some other form of recommendation. But just imagine if you don't know anyone and nobody knows you. LinkedIn is your way out. LinkedIn can be your escape. You do things right, because recruiters are paid to use that platform to scout for talents. Like there is there's a job title called talent sorcerer, and it's not a joke. What that means is the person actually goes to look for talented people to hire, and the number one platform these talent sorcerers use, LinkedIn. So you want to put on a very good face there so that you can be seen, and that's how I got seen. And ever since then, I've just been preaching to all my friends and every single person that I know that I feel should take their LinkedIn seriously, because I mean, you don't know where your next bread is going to come from. So I also want to tell you that I feel like, in a way, I am a good person. I won't say I'm the best person, but I feel like, in a way, I'm a good person to give you this talk about how to attract recruiters to your LinkedIn and how to bag the best jobs. Because I think I have pretty good LinkedIn engagements. It's probably not the best in the world. I mean, for somebody at my career, at some stage in my career, somebody with just like a few years of experience in the bag, not up to 10 years. I feel like I have pretty good LinkedIn engagements. I mean, I'm not some GM or some CEO or some, Fortune 500 company that people really want to look up to. So I'm not expecting for a lot more, but I feel like I have at least a decent, amount of engagement. So I feel like anything I'm going to tell you here today is not going to be lie, it's not going to be fake, because I mean, I put these numbers here so that you can actually see them. You can see that, I mean, daily about 2,000 people view my profile, and I write a lot on LinkedIn, and it gets about at least 1,640 posts views daily. And
Wow, that's
um,
actually a lot.
well, yeah, and when people search for like different things, like maybe if they search for software developer, or they search for Microsoft, or they search for software engineer, at least I appear in 189 of those searches. So I feel like, I'm doing something right. Is why one of the reasons why I feel like at least I'm a good enough person to have this conversation. So let's enter the main gist of the day, which is, the actual steps to attracting recruiters on your LinkedIn. But before I do that, I need to go check the waiting room and just accept people because it's blocking part of my presentation. Yeah. So yeah, at the end of the day, you would want to actually, you don't want to attract any recruiter. You want to attract the right recruiters, right?
Yeah.
You want to be a software engineer that is attracting recruiters looking for software engineering talent. You don't want to be attracting recruiters that are trying to hire, I don't know, social media managers, because that's not who you are. So you need to make a conscious effort to decide how you want to be seen. And then you need to work towards like attracting roles that fits, your career objective. And one thing that I would say in making that conscious effort is the title that appears next to your name on LinkedIn, right? Let me go to the next. The title that appears next to your name, if you look at, I mean, I'm a huge Rihanna fan, is why when I was creating my mock-up, I used her picture because I love her so much. But looking at this, LinkedIn thing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can see Robin Fenty. What appears next to Robin's name is an aspiring software developer. Even if this is not the right way to do it, this title is important, right? This title alongside your bio and having the necessary keywords in places is what would allow. I mean, let's check this, right? I said I appeared in 189 LinkedIn searches,
Yeah.
probably because they were searching for either Microsoft, or they were searching for software engineer or software development engineer, software developer. They can't be searching for account manager and my name would come,
Sure.
because I make sure that I have nothing like in my bio, on my profile. There are no keywords there that are related to account manager that will make me show up in account manager type search results. So you also need to consciously think of that when you are trying to, optimize your LinkedIn account. You want to do things that will attract the recruiters that you want, that fit your career objective. You just don't want to attract random recruiters to you and stuff, like, because that's not what you want. Recently, one of my friends in the US that is hiring like for his team, he's hiring a DA role, and somebody like, and then he's like, oh, I'm hiring, blah blah blah, sending your resumes. And it was so funny because he sent a picture like of the part of the resume to me, and he's like, this is somebody that is trying to get in for a DA role, and they're showing me um experience in a totally unrelated field. Like it was accountant, social media manager for an agency. and you want to be a developer advocate, you have no experience in developer communities. You're not even a developer yourself. So like you don't want, you don't want that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So like to attract roles, you need to do things. You need to be constantly thinking about, your career objective. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? And then that should drive things that you will do, like how you structure your bio, how you actually structure your LinkedIn title that's next to your name and other things. Another thing that's very important, I'm sure you've seen this thing on Twitter because I posted it yesterday when I was trying to prepare this slide, because it's something that I thought about, like, this is actually something I would want to share with the world besides sharing it on here, because I don't know how many people, like, I don't know the percentage of my followers that are on this call right now, but I feel like a lot of people needed to see and hear this. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody is going to want to hire an aspiring engineer or an aspiring developer. Like, when you put that already on your bio, you've created room for people to look down on you and call you inexperienced, when it might just even be your imposter syndrome talking. You might have a lot of experience and you're actually aware of. You might know a lot of things that would actually make you perform well in the job, but because of maybe imposter syndrome or lack of believing in yourself, you don't think so. And then you go ahead and put aspiring software developer, and nobody reaches out to you, and then you wonder why. Nobody is going to, because at the end of the day, they're trying to hire talented people. Yes, they're trying to hire people that can do, that can, deliver on like business requirements, that can meet the needs of like the business. You don't want to hire someone that they are going to have to maybe babysit or constantly try and check on and stuff. You can try this instead. Remove the aspiring from your thing. Like, don't put, if you're an intern, right? Put software developer at the title next to your name. And in your work experience section, you cannot put software development intern. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But at least be able to ask the person to your bio first, because as the way your CV is also the way your LinkedIn is. No recruiter is going to spend more than 5 to 10 minutes looking at your LinkedIn. So at the beginning, from the top of that LinkedIn, of your profile, you want to keep them engaged enough to make them want to constantly keep scrolling down. Like, oh, they see, oh, Robin is a software developer, that's good. And they scroll to your about and they see something nice and they're like, oh, that's good, let me keep scrolling. And they see your interest and they see all this and they're like, okay, I think I can reach out to this person for a junior role. But when you say aspiring developer, they will look at you as someone that probably maybe just started learning to code, you know, 2 weeks ago, and they would never, or maybe someone that has even thought about started learning to code, but they haven't started, and they would never they would never scroll down to the work experience part of your profile for them to actually see that maybe this person actually has like 8 months experience and they look hireable out to them. They will never scroll down to that place, because what you've done at the beginning will make them pick race. You'll make them run away. Another thing is when you're writing your bio, I mean, after the title and all those things, your pictures that look presentable, the next thing that's important is your bio. And when you're writing a bio, you need to write an elevator pitch that sells you. Like, you need to go on LinkedIn. You need to, like I said, you need to be your own, biggest fan. You need to be your own marketer. You need to be the one that's actually selling yourself. And you need to write an elevator pitch that will do that for you. And two things you need to highlight in that your elevator pitch in your bio. You need to highlight the kind of value that your skills would add, or that your skills add, or that your skills are currently adding in an organization. But you just need to highlight, value. And you also need to highlight the things that make you unique. If you as someone that can speak multiple languages, if you are someone that is a software engineer and then you also have like, some kind of knowledge in, cultural stuff, in like, maybe you have knowledge about different cultures, maybe because your mom is Nigerian and your dad is Indian, so you'll be able to experience different cultures. Things that will make someone be like, because at the end of the day, all of us as human beings, we are all unique. God, our creator, whoever anybody on this call thinks our creator is, because I believe that some people, that don't believe
that, yeah.
So I want to make this as inclusive as possible. whoever created us, right?
Mm-hmm.
That person, that being, did not make you like somebody else. You are unique, you're your own person. So you need to highlight those things that make you unique. Because these are things that people want to see. If you have a career highlights or a career story, maybe I'm going to use this guy as an example. I don't know how many people know Favor on Code on here. Maybe you have a career highlights and maybe as a student, you were able to sell a small startup you created for 22 million naira. You can add that in your bio as well, because people will be like, this person is also entrepreneurial and they are a software engineer and they
Yeah.
have all these unique talents. Let me actually want to find out more about this person. So you need to write, and this is an example of a great elevator pitch, I think, for at least a beginner. I'm saying like for a student, yeah. So imagine somebody being a student. This is an amazing elevator pitch for them, and I'm going to read it out in case maybe people can't really see it because they are on this call via their phones.
Okay.
Robin is a final year computer science student in the University of Lagos. She has experience. Me, I like to write in. I don't like to write in the first person or third person, but I like to describe myself like this. I'd
Exactly.
rather say Adora
Adora.
as
Yeah.
opposed to I,
Yes.
as opposed to saying I.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so that's how I wrote it. Either way is fine. There's no particular way that is, best. But just make sure that whatever you are writing, you are selling yourself in the process. So this is me writing, I think, in the third person. So Robin is a final year computer science student of the University of Lagos. She has experience building front-end web experiences using React and Vue. She's also a very huge advocate for the Jamstack. In 2017, Robin became the DSC lead for Unilag, and she uses that as an avenue to bring tech enthusiasts together and motivate more women in tech. Robin is passionate about communities and is equally committed to building experiences that make the web a better place for everyone. Somebody looking at this, like, are you serious? Wow, this is a student. This is amazing. I need to reach out to this student for our entry level junior roles. She seems dedicated to this tech thing, not Robin is a computer science student building web experiences. Do you get, like, you're not the first computer science student building web
Exactly.
experiences. So why would a recruiter read just that one sentence and want to take you seriously? So you
Exactly.
need to write an elevator pitch that tells you and sells all the things that you do, sells your strengths, because that will make people want to reach out to you. Another thing you need to do is add external links that you feel are important. On my LinkedIn, I have my portfolio website as an external link. I have my blog because I'm a content creator. I have my YouTube channel and I have my GitHub. So those are 4 links that I have, on the featured parts of my LinkedIn, because people also want to see that you do things.
Yeah.
It's important to add these external links as well. Use LinkedIn as your career diary. I think I've said this in my most recent video where I was talking about how LinkedIn like boosts, career growth and stuff. Add your certifications. If you take an IBM certification on cloud something, put it there. You take an Azure, AWS, GCP certification on cloud computing or whatever, put it there. You take a React Nano degree and on Udacity and you finally graduated and now you're looking for React roles and the header beside your name says front-end developer, the title on the header, last title beside your name says front-end developer or software
Yeah.
developer. Put your certification in certification part, whether it's a nano degree, so far as it's something that is something that is professional. Like you can't, I mean, this thing I'm about to say is not a certification, but it's an award. But you can't like put that kind of thing, Like you can't go and put, oh, you want more sophisticated in your school's final year. Nobody cares about that. That's not professional enough. So
Yes.
although that's not a certification, that's an award. So like those type of things you don't add, but like professional certifications, educational certifications that are relevant to your career goals, add them. Add your work experience from maybe when you were an intern, to when you some kind of maybe holiday internship to actual internship to get a job to actual work experience. Add them. Add all your education, whether it was full-time, part-time, boot camp, whatever it is. Add your education. And when you're adding your work experience, make sure you don't just write software engineer at, I don't know, Facebook. Okay, so you are a software engineer at Facebook. and you were working on open source technologies, you are part of the developers maintaining the React project. What feature did you add to React? At least 3 bullet points on your work experience part. It's a different thing if you're just starting the job and then you haven't done so much. So you can just write, oh, I am part of the team that is currently maintaining the open source projects. And one of the open source projects I maintain is React. Now, maybe like 2 years later, you can now do like a retrospective and you find out that you've done a few things. You can go back to your LinkedIn and update that as a React open source maintainer, open source, I was able to add Kiniko feature. I was able to do this, and that. I also helped Facebook channel their diversity and inclusive, things to Black people and underrepresented women. Like, you can put whatever you want to put there, but make sure that you're adding detail to what you're putting. And your education as well, I was a student, but I was also the student body president of this thing. Or I was a DSC lead, I was a this, and that. You can also add that there. And also add your volunteer experience. There's something that I heard from somebody that I think is true, because I used to just add volunteer experience because I felt like, I'm just someone that likes to give, and then why not just add it there? There's no harm. But someone actually made me realize that recruiters actually care that you are human. They want to see that you're not just all about the money that is going to get paid to you. They want to see that you like to help people, and when you see an opportunity to help people, you also do that.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, you can see around the world, there are a lot of D&I initiatives in companies. There are lots of all these diversity and inclusion things going around. And sometimes in these companies, the employees that channel D&I, apart from the fact that they get rewarded, maybe when it's time to maybe give promotions or rewards or whatever, there's actually no D&I part of their offer. Do you get, like, they are not their HR and it's their job, but like maybe engineers that actually try and maybe sometimes organize dance classes or organize maybe dinners for women once in a while, or maybe go out of their way to maybe bring in a top woman to come and talk to some of their newbie engineers to maybe motivate them. All these things are some of them do. Sometimes they do it out of free will, out of the goodness of their heart, and just because the company culture promotes that kind of thing. So sometimes HR, like, recruiters want to see that you are human and you like to help people wherever necessary as well. Yeah, like I said, connect with the right people. Make strategic career connections. Connect with people in your field. If you're trying to get into, Microsoft today, try and connect to people that work in the Microsoft. Don't go and be connecting to people that work in KPMG, or connecting to your friend as an engineer. You're connecting to your friend on LinkedIn as a banker just because person is your friend. It's not Facebook. Do you get?
Yes.
Like, try and the right connections there. Connect with people that are affiliated with companies that you'd like to work at. Do like a progression and then plan. So use your LinkedIn strategically. Now try and plan your connections and all these things on there. Give and receive recommendations. That's another very good way. If you've worked with someone in the past, you can be like, oh, recommend me on LinkedIn, because recruiters also pay attention to these recommendations. If you worked with someone in the past, maybe the person managed you, or the person was just your colleague, or maybe you were a student, right, and your classmates that was class rep or something. Also, this very important feature that nobody really pays attention to, if you go to your settings on LinkedIn, you can let recruiters know that you are job seeking, that you are job searching. And those recruiters, when they see these things, they are more likely to pay attention to you as opposed to people that are not job searching at that time. The only time they would still reach out to people that are not job searching is maybe because the person is very good and the company is also equally very good. So they feel that even if this person isn't job searching, for example, maybe somebody works at Amazon, right? And they're not job searching, but a Google recruiter has seen them and knows them and knows that they do really. And they're like, how far? Oh, please come and join us. So we are ready to do this, this, and this, and this for you. That's the only time. Sometimes, and they'll reach out to other people that are not job seeking. But if you are actively exploring new roles and they check your profile and see that your profile is amazing, they will reach out. So you need to turn on this feature if you are looking for jobs. And one very other important thing, you have to be active. Post on LinkedIn. If you write a blog post, when you post it on Twitter, also go and post it on LinkedIn. Engage your LinkedIn community as well as you engage your Twitter community. If you make some kind of open source contribution, put it there. If you learn something, even if it's not in form of a blog post, or something maybe you realized today, like, oh, working on this new feature with my friends actually made me realize the importance of this, and that. And I'm sharing it with, because I mean, it just shows that you know your onions, you are learning and you're documenting things as you learn them or as you do them, and it would make people take it seriously, and in some way at some point you will become a subject matter expert at the things that you're doing. I'm going to leave you with this last quote, which is, when you start doing LinkedIn, sometimes it will take time, but just know that you're on the right path and just keep doing it, because at some point that breakthrough that you need will come. A little progress each day adds up to big results. When you start, please don't stop because it's not working. It might take time, but you'll get there. Never give up because things take time. I think I've also kind of said this when I was trying to explain what the first quote means. And I hope that you take your LinkedIn a lot more seriously than you take it today. And I hope that when you do that, you will be able to bag the best jobs possible. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Yes, someone asked, what is D and I? You mentioned something like D and
What?
I. You mentioned
Oh,
something like,
diversity and inclusion.
sorry, I didn't get that.
Diversity and inclusion. So D&I
Okay.
means diversity and inclusion. That's like the shortest, that's the short way to say it. If you're like me and you're very lazy, so you don't want to say diversity and inclusion. 8 syllables, but you can just say D and I, and that's just 3. So I'm very lazy. My laziness even links to how I speak. So
Okay. Wow. For myself, I don't even have a question. You took your time to break down everything. Like, you brought it down to layman's understanding. It was catching. I also went through like, yeah, that's my pen. I was also jotting. I also need the jobs. So never give up. Just keep trying. You never know when what you are doing can actually start working. Okay. Also like the aspect of the elevator speech. Sorry, elevator pitch. That what sells you, what you value, what value will you give, or the skill you add. Also, don't forget that in your LinkedIn too, what makes you unique. Add important extra links, maybe like you said, to your blog, website, and so on and so forth. So that was actually that was about it. I've been hyping this event since last week of my 30th. I don't know anybody that has me like a personal friend will know that this last week I've been actually hyping it since you accepted to come around, and I think this is what they've hyped. So everybody that has seen me hyping the event will actually come here and say yes. It was what they hype. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much. Please, we still want to remind you of our Fame Booth 2.0. We're expecting a
I
mail from
think you
us.
can like do an email or reach out or like send a Twitter DM so that we can like talk extensively on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I'm going to send you an email soon. Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you to everybody that has been with us from the first part to the second part. And I hope you learned a lot and a lot of things from Adora. So it's wonderful having you on board. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you,
Somebody is
thank
asking,
you.
somebody is asking, can we ask questions?
Okay, someone's asking. No, I can't see any. Um,
Yeah. Somebody else.
Hi, can I?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, you spoke about recruiters coming to our LinkedIn. Can we reach out to recruiters, especially when we think your LinkedIn is well built and good looking and you're actually looking for job opportunities? Do you have any tips on reaching out to recruiters, especially in companies you like to work at?
Yes, I mean, feel free to reach out to recruiters. At the end of the day, it's about shooting your shots. Like I keep saying, you have everything to gain and absolutely nothing to lose. So if you want to reach out to recruiters because you feel like you would want to work in these kind of companies, before you even reach out to recruiters, honestly, I would advise you to try and make friends with people in that company that can actually recommend you as opposed to reaching out to recruiters. I'm going to use like Google, for example. If you want to work at Google, right, at least maybe over time, you've built experience, you're very good at what you do, and you have a few friends maybe that work at Google or a few friends that are GDs. If you now maybe hear that, oh, Google is hiring, or please could you recommend me for this position? I live close to the airport in case you're hearing this airplane. Google is hiring, or please could you recommend me for this position? And then it's easier because like recommendations from people that work in that company go further, go a long way, right? Or sometimes they might not even be hiring, but you're like, oh, how far? Please could you reach out to like maybe HR on your team or something just in case. It's easier when you're friends with somebody that works there. However, if you're not and you still want to shoot your shots with recruiters, that's where, like I said, packaging, yourself comes in, building brand that makes sense, comes in. So that even when you're reaching out to the recruiter and the person, looks at your profile, you're like, okay, this person probably seems competent and is not just a jobless person for, whatever reason. I've reached out to a recruiter before. Well, not directly. So I went.
Can anybody hotspot for me now? Can anybody? Oh God. Can anybody do that now? I just went off. Please come, like I went off. Please. What's the name? Sorry?
What? Is it appropriate to put up two professions in one profile? Like someone who is a UI UX designer, but yet into public health nutrition. And you are going to shoot yourself in the leg. You are either a UI UX. You're either a UI UX designer that is enthusiastic about public health, or you're a public health nutritionist that just wants to explore design. But you can't be both because, it would have been easy if those two fields were a bit similar. You get, like if you had said, oh, I'm a UI UX designer, I'm also a front developer. Or I'm a mobile developer and I'm also a back-end developer. Or I'm a full stack developer that also happens to be a DevOps engineer. Then those two things, because they're in the same industry, they're in the same field. Yeah. But for this type of thing, is it that people in the food and nutrition space will reach out to you, people in the health space will reach out to you, and people in tech would also reach out to you? Like, it will just confuse the recruiter. They will look at this thing and be like, okay, is this person actually serious or what? So I think that's you shooting yourself in the leg. I would not advise you to do that, definitely. Any other questions? It doesn't look like there are any other questions.
Yeah, done. Yeah. Sorry, I went off my Able network. It kind of went blank. Like I don't know. Sorry about that.
We are Nigerians.
Yes, so I was in a okay. I was in an event like that, a Zoom event. So one of the speakers, the guest speaker that was speaking, was actually talking, and NEPA took the light, and everywhere went dark. I was like, "Oh God, that's Nigeria for you." So sorry about that. I went off for a while.
I have to do like a talk in the night, even if there's light, I would rather run my generator just so that I avoid any except it's during the day. So I'm talking there and there's light. Yeah. But if they take light, this room will still be bright because there's a window, right? Mm-hmm. Like better, but then we didn't choose to be born here. So somebody is asking, how do you brand yourself if you have no experience but you've been learning and practicing? You brand yourself as a software developer. You don't brand yourself as an aspiring software developer or a software developing student. No, you brand yourself as a software developer. You might not choose to go the extra mile. Maybe if you feel like, I might be a fraud for saying this. You can brand yourself as a junior software developer. Yeah, so that somebody will know that, okay, this is the person's level of experience. And as you are learning and practicing, make sure you're constantly sharing that with the world, you know? Yeah, alongside all the other things that I've said. Yeah. Don't don't because you feel like you have no experience, think you're not worthy. People that your managers today, all those people that you see and love on social media or you see and love on TV, maybe, or you read about them on interviews or you attend their webinars or whatever, they once had no experience. So don't feel bad. Like, it's not a crime to not have any experience. So don't make yourself less of a professional because you have no experience. So far as at least you might not have experience in a company, but like you said, if you've been learning and practicing, it means you know something. At least you can be somebody's intern and you can enter for a junior engineer role. So brand yourself as a junior engineer. It's that simple. Don't wait for yourself to get hired before you now realize, okay, now I'm hired, I'm a software developer, it's time to put software developer on my title. Because you might never, let me not say you might never get hired, but you might not get hired early.
That's true. Very correct. Oh, okay. I promised you we are going to stop at few minutes after 1 p.m., but this is the 2 and they're still dragging you. From you. Well, thank you very much. I don't know, is there any other question? You think you're confused somewhere? Miss Adora, yeah, she's so generous with her time that she can answer our questions. I think there's another comment too. Okay.
So how can practice to enhance my profile even when I haven't started working in a company? You don't have to work as a freelancer for practice to enhance your profile. You can do a few open source contributions. You can work on a few portfolio projects with your friends. Like, you don't have to be a freelancer because except you are even taking freelance jobs from, pardon my French, stupid people, even at that early stage in your career, you might not get a freelance job because freelancers too have to be experienced, right?
Yeah.
And it's even more difficult being a freelancer because you don't have somebody directly managing you, just have the clients that you are reporting to and doing stuff. So if you are actually not experienced, if you are getting a freelance contract, it's from somebody that will either disappear in the middle of the project and 3 years later will call back and tell you that they want their money back, or somebody that will keep changing requirements every 2 weeks. It's not going to be a healthy relationship, and you don't even want that. So I will not advise you to want to work as a freelancer at that, early stage of your career. However, if you want to practice and enhance your profile, I don't even think you should. There are some freelance people that don't even allow you use their projects as portfolio projects because they're like, I'm paying you, and this is my project. The same way in some offices, they'll be like, don't put what you directly did for this office on your website. Do you get oh, imagine if you're working in an agency now, and then maybe you built one website for Union Bank and you built one website for Ribena. No,
Sure, they will not. For security purposes.
Yeah, for security purposes, they don't allow you to do that kind of thing. So if you want to enhance your profile, make a lot of open source contributions, read a lot of code, write a lot of code, share all these things that you are doing while you are doing them. Apart from making open source contributions to tools or resources that a lot of developers use, you can even create some kind of organization with your friends and you guys work on portfolio projects together. Another thing you can also do is when there's a hackathon, go for the hackathon. Whether you win, whether you don't win, because I forgot to mention this. This is another thing that even shows recruiters that you have the spirit of teamwork in you, that you can work with people, you can work with teams. Oh, I participated in XYZ hackathon and we came third or we came fourth. It's still very valid. So, yeah. I'll move on to the next question. It says, I've been planning on taking, say, 100 days coding challenge, and I feel like sharing it with the world daily, but I feel like it's too much noise. It's not too much noise. Make all the noise you want to make.
Exactly.
At the end of it, you are doing it because it's something that you feel will make people find you and add value to your career. Anybody that sees it as too much noise can kindly take a walk. They can block you, they cannot follow you. Nobody will die. Do you understand?
Seriously.
Don't feel like because you think it's too much noise, not take that bold step that can lead to actual. I like to use Prosper as an example. I don't know how many people were in that Oscar fest where Prosper gave that his talk about tiny changes, remarkable results. And he talked about how when he built this open source framework for this thing, he went to Twitter and he tweeted about it. If he felt like that would have been too much noise, Baba for just day is day, JJ. And if he had probably just day is day, Prosper might not be the Prosper that all of you.
Prosper, yes, exactly.
The tech ecosystem might not even be the tech ecosystem everybody sees today, because from Prosper contributing to open source, he motivated some of his friends to do that as well. Exactly. And he got invited to open source conferences, and people started paying attention to the Nigerian tech ecosystem. And a lot of people saw him as a motivation, and others started as well. So like, if he had not taken that step, I don't even know if we will be having this webinar by now. So you might be, I don't want to say you might be the next Prosper because you are your own person, you get, but you might be the amazing thing that's about to happen to Nigerian tech just because you are posting about your coding challenge or posting about your journey or posting about things you build. Don't let anybody stop you. Anybody that wants to die will die. Whether you post or not, it will not stop them. Do you get me? So whatever you want to do in your life, is your Twitter account, is your LinkedIn account, do whatever you like. Anybody that doesn't like it, that's why the block button and the follow button is there. And they can feel free to work. So don't think because you might be making noise, you don't want to share. Share as much as you can. Share everything you can as much as you can to as many people as you can. And you'll just be shocked how much it will change your life.
I heard you say something, WTM, Abba, you're one of the guest speakers. You said that as far as it's the truth, as far as what you're saying is the truth, there's nothing like making noise. There's nothing like making noise.
As far as you are not like, maybe today you come and say something like how you declare a variable is with a minus sign and not an equal symbol. I mean, in that kind of thing too, Seth, yeah, if you're someone who puts corrections and people correct you and you take that correction, it's okay. But if you make that mistake just maybe once or twice, it's fine. But if you're constantly making mistakes every single time, that's when, if you're not authentic in your message, like if you come and say something about a particular framework or library that is not true, and you don't say it once, but you say it like 10 times, that's when there's a problem. But if what you're posting is very valid and you feel like, not even only for yourself, but for other people, you feel like other people can learn from all these things that you share and you post, then you don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to use Ira as another example. Go back to, I want to give you this assignment, yeah? Go and look at the Ira that you know now. Look at her bio as she's, COO for Bitcoins, and right, is this CEO or head of operations? I don't know what they call her, but whatever it is. She's one of the leaders at Bitcoins, and she's a GDE, and she's doing amazing things for herself.
Yeah, she is. I'm also
now read of code. Go to that her blog. Go as far as her first article. If you don't laugh, never take me seriously again in your life.
You serious?
So growth is, you get, like, it's okay. You get, growth is very important. Do your 100 days of code. Start posting it. You will cultivate the habit of sharing your knowledge. So when you start even doing a lot more challenging things, or you start learning a lot more things that add value, because you've cultivated that habit of sharing knowledge, you will share those things, and you don't even know the thing that you will mistakenly share that will blow you. So see, my brother, my sister, let me talk like that on my TikTok. Yeah, it's share. If anybody feels like it's too much noise, like I say, they can block you and they can take a walk, and you would even know that that's not the kind of energy that you need around you.
Exactly, sure.
That's just drops
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. Please, no more questions. You can.
Yeah, I'm able to stop taking questions because I have to go shoot a YouTube video.
Yeah, please, no more questions. If you think you're lost, go to her on Twitter, follow her and try and ask her stuff there.
This thing that I talked about today is a conversation that's been happening for like over 2 weeks because of a tweet I made about LinkedIn. So I did a first part video and I'm going to do a second part video. And the second part video is what I actually want to go ahead and shoot right now. So
Wow.
if you have any questions for me, you might reserve them until you watch the second part video.
Yeah, sure. And
if you still have those questions after watching that video, then you can reach out to me via either my YouTube comments or my DM, and I'll be happy to answer.
Yeah, again, and this video too, in case you think you missed some certain stuff because of a network or unstable network, please, I'm going to combine the videos and I'm going to push it to our YouTube. So once I do, I'm also going to make a tweet about it and I'll tag you, Adora, and you always see it. So the link is going to be there. You can actually rewatch it if you think you are losing or you think you didn't follow up with some parts because of network. So thank you very much for joining our Spotlight Saturday Women in Tech with Miss Adora. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you, Adora, for having us.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
And having us tap from your knowledge. Really, we did, and it was awesome. Thank you very, very much. We do appreciate it. So we will disturb you very soon, one with our email, and if we are, I will actually plan an event. So if it actually pushed through, we are going to reach out to you too for you to be one of our speakers. Definitely want this vibe on our event too. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, take care. Bye. Bye. Bye.